Hi there, my name's Reno. I live in New Zealand. I'm a bus driver for a company called GoBus, and a lot of our routes, at the end of the road, we'll have to wait for about 10 minutes for the clock to tick around. And of course that gives you a lot of time that you have to fill in somehow. So I wanted to do some research, check my internet, all that sort of thing, and I decided to look for a tablet. So after lots of researching, I found on a Chinese website a tablet from a company called Ainol, Ainol. It's called a Poseidon. It's got all the good specs, and it seemed to be a very good price, so I jumped in and bought one. So I thought I'd better do a review on it, so in case you're wondering about it and maybe looking at it yourself, um, you know what you're looking at. So here we go. Okay, so starting with the basics, it came with a little charger, a cable which goes in the charger and which can be used to plug it into your computer and get access to it. This is the tablet itself, which was in a nice little box, which I have discarded by now. It is reasonably easy to handle. It's got the brand on the back of it. In the bottom there is space for 2 SIM cards. There is a space in the side here for a little memory card up to 32 gigabyte. It's got the headphone, video connection socket, and a USB socket at the top there, and it's quite a tidy little packet. The back is aluminium, the bottom is plastic. It is a cheap finish, but I only paid about 150 New Zealand dollars for it. Right, so to give you some basic idea of the performance of it, let's start by turning it on. Excuse my beautiful stand, which I'm using here at the moment. So I've turned the tablet off and I'm just going to turn it on again now. It's quite prompt. It's got a quad-core processor. It's got Bluetooth. It's got the memory card ability. It's got GPS. It's got Wi-Fi. Basically everything you can think about. Pretty much all. It's got 3G. Like I said before, 2 SIM cards, and pretty much all the specs you can really ask for. So that's it. It's ready to go. It's got 4.21 Android 4.2.1 on it. I'd like to upgrade it, and I've asked them and tried to find out how to do so, but they haven't really come forward with anything particularly useful at this stage. Okay, so movement is very slick. I haven't got it set up particularly fancy, but there's a lot of stuff on there. One little issue for us English-speaking people is that it came with as a Chinese tablet, because of course it is a Chinese tablet, and as such, of course, it was in Chinese. So that was a bit of a problem because I can't read Chinese. So I shall just go and organise the connection for it. Actually, we'll do this as we have a look. So I've put this little app on it here. I'm just going to connect to the network. You can see on the top here, hopefully, there are 2. You can see the battery readout. You can see the Wi-Fi connection being made. The one thing that is quite disappointing about this tablet is the sound quality. It is basically very unimpressive. It's got one small speaker which distorts when you put it on full volume, so if you want to get this for playing music, it's not your best choice. Apart from that, I'm actually really quite happy with it. It's quick, it performs well, and yeah, it basically does the job. So let's just flick that around so we can fill our screen a little bit better. So there are the apps. If I go into Play Store, I go into My Apps. There's my list of my apps. So as you can see, it scrolls very smoothly. When you go into anything at all, it comes up quite quickly. I'm not particularly a gaming sort of a person, but the one set or kind of games that I do enjoy are flight simulators. And so on this particular screen I set up a few flight simulators, which I haven't actually done so very tidily, but I don't quite know how the quality of this is going to come out. I'm just using my cell phone to make this video with. Okay, so it's quite smooth. I'm reasonably impressed with the quality of it. Oops, and that was a crash. Not a crash for the tablet obviously, but a crash for the program. So it just gives you a little bit of an idea about how it performs. As I said, I am really quite happy with it. What I use it a lot for is for research. So I might go into my file manager, go into my SD card, I might go and find something that I've saved there. I might go in there and open a PDF. A lot of the software that was on here came with Chinese software. And actually, being a bus driver was a bit of a bonus for me, because on one of my trips I picked up a Chinese customer just after I picked this up out of the post office and couldn't do anything with it. So I asked her if she was Chinese, and she is. And so she basically put into English for me, which is very useful because it would have been quite a pain otherwise. So yeah, so this is just looking at PDFs. So I ditched all the Chinese programs and basically put my own set on the right one. So pictures. This is a case of bad parenting. But of course that's completely by the by. So I'm just trying to find something here. First International Women's Day car park. Okay, so here's a little video clip. It works fine, and this is a low definition one, but there are I've got a number of high definition videos, and they work well. This is a before and after. Take a good look, see the difference. Anyway, just a quick couple of things I thought I'd point out. You can use this as a telephone, so you can just dial your numbers like that, and you can have a look at the calls that you've made. You can have a look at your contact list, which again, everything it works smooth, it works well. It's got quite a reasonable camera on it, so let's have a look at that. Probably my phone doesn't really do justice to the quality of the camera. And then I can swap the camera over, which I believe is this one. No, that means I'm recording. Yep, here we go. I can swap the camera over, and so now we're on the front camera. And so here you can see me doing my recording. So that works well. I'll turn Skype on for you, because as most people will know, that usually takes quite a while to start up. Well, look at that, bang, it's just there. So, yep, happy with that. Anyway, this is the video I tried to play just before, and it says type not recognised, but in a different program that does run it. So, but like I said, this is the sound.
Shaping up to be a rough commute out there today. Watch for an accident on the 101 near Sherman.
And this is on absolute full. And if you put it on music, you will notice that it distorts. So that is definitely a negative about this notepad. So the battery lasts reasonably well. It goes for most of the day. Like I use it in the bus off and on. And it'll last for most of the day. So I'm reasonably happy with that. It's not fantastic. There are better ones, but you pay a hell of a lot more for them. For something like a Galaxy 7-inch pad here, you pay like $400. And full comparable specs with everything on it that this one has, you'd be paying even more than that. Plonk. Right, now just one little note on the side. I bought this with a memory stick. I also bought it, by the way, with a little case, which was genuine leather, which is not genuine leather, but you know, it looks like it. It's starting to fray on the edges, but it works. It does a good job. And I bought it with a memory chip, 32 gigabyte memory chip. Problem was the memory chip was corrupt. It doesn't work. So I contacted them. At first they didn't want to know. They told me to reset, but I bought another memory stick, put it in, and it worked absolutely fine. So in the end they said, okay, send it back to me and we'll send you another one. Now this was well over 2 months ago now. You send an envelope, fast mail to China from New Zealand, it doesn't take 2 months to get there. They still keep telling me, no, they haven't received it. So a word of warning here, buy anything from China, warranty, I wouldn't be too serious about it. I don't think it exists. So that is a big risk that you take. And I mean, you know, to say that something hasn't arrived in the mail is incredibly convenient. So if the tablet itself would have been wrong, yeah, I don't know what would have happened. So anyway, that's my little 2 cents worth. If you got any questions, pop them in the description. I'm sorry it's probably not as high-tech as I could have done. It goes on the net quite well. Like, let's go on. So this is Opera browser. So if we want to go and do a Google search, it just goes into there. Then you get your standard keyboard. So we could look something up. I don't know. Let's look up Ainol. Go. And there's the sites about it. All that, it works well. I'm really, as a whole, I'm quite happy with the tablet. It's just I'm really quite upset and disappointed with the service. You know, for the sake of a $30 chip, they should just take my word for it and send me another one, because I sent them all the information. And so, yep, just a word of warning there. Apart from that, quite happy. You know, average battery, a very good performance. It's very smooth. The networking and everything works fine. There is an issue with Android 4.21 with SIM card connections. They tend to sometimes just drop out. You know, and they just don't work. But I do believe that has nothing to do with the tablet. It has got more to do with the Android, because I've found heaps of posts on the net about it. Alright, well that's my 2 cents worth. Sorry about the shaky video, I'm just doing this by hand, but I thought it would be useful for you to know. Have a wonderful day.